Most small trades businesses are underpriced, not because they don't know their cost, not because they're being generous, but because the price they set 2 or 3 years ago never got updated, and everything around it has changed. Heck, nowadays, costs go up every couple weeks. Material costs go up, labor gets more expensive, overhead grows, the number stays the same that you're selling. And the instinct is to leave it alone. Raising prices feels risky. What if you lose jobs? What if customers go somewhere else? The real risk is the opposite. Staying at a price that no longer covers what the job actually costs is a slow leak that eventually drains the business. Today we're talking about how to know when it's time to raise your prices and how to do it confidently with new customers. Pricing shouldn't be a gut decision. There are real signals in your operation that tell you the number needs to move. Here's what to look for. Your close rate is too high. If you're closing 8 or 9 out of every 10 quotes you send, you're probably underpriced. A healthy close rate for a well-run small trades operation is somewhere between 30 and 60% depending on your operation. Closing everything means customers aren't comparing you against anything, which means your price has no resistance. Your margins are shrinking even though your revenue is growing. If job volume is up, but what you're keeping per job is down, costs have outpaced your pricing. This is the silent margin squeeze that doesn't show up until the bank account does. Material and labor costs have increased, but your prices haven't. If your input costs went up 15% and you're charging the same number, you've effectively given yourself a pay cut on every job. You're fully booked and turning work away. When demand exceeds your capacity, the market is telling you that your price is below where it should be. You could charge more and still fill the schedule. You're attracting the wrong customers. Price is a filter. A low price attracts price-sensitive customers who negotiate, complain, and don't refer. A higher price attracts customers who value quality and are easier to work with. If your customer base is frustrating you, your pricing may be a part of why. There's no universal right answer for how much to raise prices, but here's the framework I'd use. Start with your actual cost. Go back to your job costing data from video 4. And what are materials actually costing you now versus what you're pricing against? What is your actual labor cost per hour when you include the burden of the taxes, insurance, benefits? What is your overhead grown to? Build a price from the current reality, not from what it used to cost. Then add your target margin on top of that number, and that's your new floor. If the number feels uncomfortably high, test it. Send the next 3 or 4 quotes at the new number and see what happens. If you close 1 or 2 of them at the higher margin, you've already validated the move. A price increase of 10 to 15% implemented cleanly on new customers will typically not produce a significant drop in close rate if the rest of your operation is professional. The written scope, the clear communication, the documented process. The price signals quality. Everything else confirms it. The biggest obstacle to raising prices isn't the market. It's the contractor's own discomfort with the number. When you send a quote at a higher price and the customer pushes back, the temptation is to treat that as confirmation that the price is wrong. It's not. It's just negotiation. You've already learned from video 11 how to handle that conversation without caving. A few things that make the transition easier. Don't announce it. New customers don't know what you used to charge. You don't need to explain or justify a price they have no reference point for. Just send the quote. Let the scope justify the number. A detailed written scope of work that clearly shows what's included, what's excluded, and what the process looks like does more to justify a price than any explanation you could give verbally. Track your close rate at the new price. Give it at least 10 to 15 quotes before you draw any conclusions. One customer who balks means nothing. A pattern across 15 quotes tells you something. And accept that you will lose some jobs. This is not a failure. Jobs lost at the wrong price are jobs that would have compressed your margin and attracted price-sensitive customers. Losing them creates capacity for better work. The market will bear more than most small trades operators think. The hesitation isn't about the customer, it's about the contractor's belief in the value of what they deliver. If you have a documented work standard, a written scope process, a job costing system, and a professional operation, you have built something worth paying for. Price it accordingly. Watch the signals, build from your actual cost, test the number, track the results, and adjust. See you next video.